Your husband's administration, everything, the election was all about hope. Do you think that this administration achieved that?
Yes, I do, because we feel the difference now.
Yeah.
See, now we're feeling what not having hope feels like. You know, hope is necessary. It's a necessary concept. Yeah. And Barack didn't just talk about hope because he thought it was just a nice slogan to get votes. I mean, he and I and so many believe that what else do you have if you don't have hope?
Yeah.
What do you give your kids if you can't give them hope? You know, our children respond to crises the way they see us respond. You know, it's like the toddler that bumps his head on the table and they look up at you to figure out whether it hurts. And if you're like, oh my God, they're crying. But if you're like, you know what, babe, it's okay. It's okay. And I feel that way about the nation. I feel that Barack has been that for the nation in ways that people will come to appreciate. Having a grown-up in the White House who can say to you in times of crisis and turmoil, hey, it's going to be okay. Let's remember the good things that we have. Let's look at the future. Let's look at all the things that we're building. All of this is important for our kids to stay focused and to feel like their work isn't in vain, that their lives aren't in vain. What do we do if we don't have hope, Oprah?
Was there a time where you thought this period would also make or break you? When did you feel the most tested?
You know, I think I tend to push the challenges. This is a defense mechanism that I've had throughout my life. You know, the bad stuff I just don't hold on to. You know, I mean, so if we were to sit here and you were to read through some of the bad stuff, I'd be like, oh yeah, I forgot all about that. It's like, oh yeah, I think I was kind of mad then. But I think the way I handle things, and I think we as women do it. We as Black women better be able to do it because there's so much that comes at us all the time and every day in subtle ways that could tear your soul apart if you let it. But my mother always taught me, girl, you better keep it moving. You know, you better brush it off.
When you were labeled that angry Black woman, was that one of the things that knocked you back a bit?
Well, that was one of those things that you just sort of think, dang, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you just sort of feel like, wow, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the first blowback because you think, wow, that is so not me. But then you sort of think, well, this isn't about me. This is about the person or the people who write it.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's just the truth.
That's what Maya always used to say to me.
Yeah, it's just so, it's so much about that. And then you start thinking, oh, wow, we're so afraid of each other. You know, color, wealth, these things that don't matter still play too much of a role in how we see one another. And it's sad because the thing that least defines us as people is the color of our skin. It's the size of our bank account. None of that matters. You know this.
Yes, of course.
You know, it's our values. It's, you know, it's how we live our lives. And you can't tell that from somebody's race, somebody's religion. You know, people have to act it out. They have to live those lives. And so that was the blowback. And then I thought, okay, well, let me live my life out loud so that people can then see and then judge for themselves. And that's what I want young people to do. Just live your life. You know, live it out loud.
I have to ask you this because when everybody found out I was going to be interviewing you, this question came up and I was like, no way, that's not going to happen. The people seriously think that you are going to run for office.
Yeah, yeah. I think some people think it seriously and some people are just, you know.
Hopeful.
They're just hopeful. And that's good. Hope is good. But, yeah, that reaction.
Would you ever run for office?
No,
I have to ask it.
No.
No kind of office?
No. Look, that's one thing I don't do. I don't make stuff up. I'm not coy. I haven't proven that. I'm pretty direct. If I were interested in it, I'd say it. I don't believe in playing games. You know, it's not something I would do. But it also speaks to the fact that people don't really understand how hard this is. And it's not something that you cavalierly just sort of ask a family to do again. Maybe because we got it wrong or we think we got it wrong. So it's like, well, now you do it. You just go back in there and do it. It's like,
or maybe because you got it right, people want you to go back.
Or you know,
yes.
They feel regret about this election.
Yeah. So now you
do it again.
Yeah.
You're the closest thing to that, so you do it. But let me just tell America, this is hard. It's a hard job. I said it on the campaign trail. It requires a lot of sacrifice. It is a weighty thing. And it's not something that you even look to one family to take on at that level, you know, for that long of a period of time.
8 years is enough.
And 16 years would be, right? Let's just, you know, 16 years. I wouldn't do that to my kids.
Yeah.
Because what people don't understand is that their lives stop at any age. I mean, the next family that comes in here, every person in that family, every child, every grandchild, their lives will be turned upside down in a way that no American really understands. And it's not for us to complain about it, so you don't hear complaints, but it is a truth, an actuality, that there is a weight to it.
Yeah. So the Democratic Party has not asked you to run for anything.
No.
No conversations.
I'm not having conversations, no. A conversation is like a two-way street. I don't know what they're talking about, but I'm not talking back.
You're not going to be talking back.
No.
Was there something that even you were amazed about yourself, that this experience, this 8 years, showed you another level of Michelle Robinson Obama that you didn't know? You was like,
Well, maybe it's something that, you know, we as women, we as minorities sort of we underestimate in ourselves, and that is, I'm pretty smart.
Yeah.
I work pretty hard. I'm good at what I do. I have really good instincts. I have great ideas, and I can execute. And I say that out loud because we as women don't pat ourselves on the back. We're always sort of deferring.
Yes.
You know, we cede our power so easily. And I want young girls out there to know, look.
Live out loud.
Live out loud and understand that what's in your brain is really useful. Do not hide it. Don't dumb it down. Don't apologize for it. Just put it on the table and let people deal with it. Because we silence ourselves. And I've just sort of been impressed, not just with me, but my entire team, at how flawlessly we've executed so many very difficult things, from traveling abroad. We've done so many independent trips, high wire act speeches in South Africa, you know, work in Cuba, you name it. When we traveled, even when we traveled with the president, we had an agenda. We had things that we were doing, things we wanted to accomplish. I'm just proud of the ability of my team, many of whom are young. Many of them are women, but many of them are so young. And I just remind them, you did this. You were able to come into this house on that day, that day in 2008,
yes,
knowing nothing about what this would be or what would be required of all of us. And we did it, you know, and we did it well. And we did it with high standards, and we didn't compromise our values.
Do you have any advice for Mrs. Trump?
You know, we talked about the kids, but, you know, my offer to Melania was, you know, you really don't know what you don't know until you're here. So the door is open, as I've told her, and as Laura Bush told me, you know, and as other first ladies told me. So I'm not new in this going high thing. I mean, I'm modeling what was done for me by the Bushes.
Right.
And Laura Bush was nothing but gracious and helpful, and her team was right there for my team all throughout this entire 8-year process.
And your team is doing the same.
We will do whatever they need to help them succeed. So that's one of the things I said to Melania. When you get to a place when you can digest all this and you have questions, because you don't have questions the day after the election. It's just sort of like, you're looking around the house and it's like, well, what do you want to know? And it's like, I don't know what I should know. And I knew that. So my door is open. And that was really the nature of the meeting.
When you think about moving out into the world, we've talked about going to Target. I got a better idea.
What's that?
Better than shopping.
Okay.
So much better than shopping.
Okay, all right, I'm listening.
We should go glamping.
Oh God, I saw you and Gail go glamping.
We should go glamping.
If you cook, because you like to cook.
I like to cook.
Okay,
No,
I'm down for glamping. Hey, look, I'm open.
You're
I'm
open.
Free.
You're
I'm
free.
You will be the one that doesn't have any time. But yes, that
no,
sounds great.
we should do
That sounds
that. I was
great.
thinking that's going to be so much more fun than shopping.
Okay,
We can shop
I
anytime.
agree. I'm down. Sign me up.